Namaskar. I'm Dr. Sonali Naik. Today we are going to read the 8th chapter from Gajanan Vijay Granth. Before that, let us do a meditation. Sit quietly, close your eyes, take a deep breath, concentrate your attention between your two eyebrows. See in your mind's eye. You're sitting at a beautiful and a pleasant place. It is a seashore. You can hear the beautiful music of the waves. A cool breeze is blowing. You're filled with happiness and peace. You are meditating upon Lord Rama. Lord Rama is standing in front of you. Seeing him, you are filled with happiness and peace. You bow to him. He gives you his blessings that you will forever stay healthy and happy. On receiving his blessings, you are filled with peace and happiness. The protective cover of his blessings stays around you throughout your life. Within this protective cover, you are forever guided, forever guarded, forever loved, forever prospered. Because of this, your life is filled with happiness and peace. Give thanks. Open your eyes. Say Gajanan. Sri Ganesha Nama. O beloved son of Vasudeva and Devaki, protector of the Gop and Gopis, annihilator of demons, please bless me. Bless me. I am aware that devotion and penance are required to gain your favor, but I am unable to offer these. Your praises are in Sanskrit, new to me. I cannot decipher these words. I am dumb. How can a frog get honey out of a lotus bulb? I am penniless and cannot obtain your favor by feeding a batch to the poor. I cannot visit shrines and holy places to acquire your crying grace. Because of my health and fading eyesight, I seem to be helpless on all sides. It is clear that hopes and dreams of the poor are never fulfilled. Even then, your blessings fetch delight. I am aware you don't have to be rich to get it. When clouds pour down water, lakes and rivers get their fill in full. I look forward to the showers of happiness. A drop of nectar removes all sickness. In the last chapter, we talked of a family feud between the houses of Patil and Reshma. Such unhealthy rivalry brews tension. Tuberculosis of body and social friction spell disaster, defeating efforts to ease the situation. The event here was triggered by Maha's refusal to obey the orders of Khande Rao, the highest authority in Shiga. Maria Mahar, the mail carrier, stayed near the lake. He enjoyed a special privilege at Deshmukh's place. With taunts and uncouth, filthy words, he declined to execute Khande Rao's work. He was warned to behave himself. More so as Khandu was the head of the place. Maria disregarded the admonition and teased Khandu with obscene gesticulations. The cause of this alternation was plain. Patil had some mail to send to Akola police station. He asked Maria to take it to the district. Maria refused, saying, I am Deshmukh's man. I don't take orders from you, understand? He ridiculed Patil, infuriating him a lot, resulting in a blow by the stick on his arm. That hard force had fractured his hand. Patil sent the mail with someone else. Relatives of Maria took him to Deshmukh's place. This gave Deshmukh a chance to harass Patil. They took Maria to the police station in a bid to lodge a complaint about the happening. All tensions in the society had blown up the community to an enormity. The complaint was registered by the authority. Orders were issued to arrest Khande Rao. The news spread like wildfire in Shiga. Patil developed a lot of fear and worried about the impending danger. He prayed to God Almighty to save him from arrest and indignity. For a man of his status, humiliation is worse than death. His brothers too looked worried and helpless. Then it suddenly occurred to Khandu Patil that he better see the saint and seek his help, as no one else could save him from this mishap. His brothers went to Akola to seek legal advice. Khandu Patil went straight to the saint at night. He bowed down to Maharaj and told the story. I thrashed him as he refused to do government duty. Deshmukhs are using this event to put me in difficulty. They are trying to get me arrested. None else except you can help me at this stage. Maybe the police will take me tomorrow. I would like to kill myself before I go. I am a man of dignity, and the insult of arrest is like death to me. I accept I was violent in that situation, but the whole thing is blown out of proportion. Please save me, O kind saint, from this contempt. In the episode of Jayadratha in Mahabharata, Arjun was ready to burn himself for dignity. God saved him and protected his honor. God also saved the respect and honor of Draupadi by providing her saris at the right hour. My self respect is being stripped here like Draupadi. Khandu's eyes were tearful when he begged for blessings. His brothers were worried over the arrest impending. Maharaj hugged Khandu Patil and said, "A man of responsibility has to face such a fate and has to be ready for it. Such things happen due to selfishness and sinful thoughts. You and Deshmukh belong to the same caste, yet selfishness has torn you apart. The enmity between Kaurav and Pandav in the epic of Mahabharata developed due to self-interest. Pandav were legally right, thus Almighty was on their side. Kaurav was defeated, so you don't have to be afraid. Deshmukh will ultimately fail. Eventually, Khandu was declared as not guilty. Blessings of the saints cannot be deemed paltry. Patil brothers got closer to the saint after this challenging occurrence. Who would not like to sip nectar, the heavenly life-giving elixir? A few days later, Patil took the saint to stay in their family. At their place came some Telangi Brahmins, orthodox, learned, and well versed in Vedic prayers. In spite of their greed for money, changed their behavior. They had come with the hope of getting some here. Maharaj was sleeping when they came in. They started to sing the Vedic hymns. The intention was to awaken the saint and attract his attention towards him. The recitation involved a mistake which the Brahmins did not correct. Maharaj was upset. He got up and said, "You are damaging the greatness of Vedic hymns. They are no tools of business, they have lessons to teach. Show some respect to your gear, which indicates that you are a Vedic seer. Now I recite the words and you repeat. Don't misguide innocent believers." Saying so, he repeated the chapter with not a single mistake in the text. The pronunciations were clear in all respect. It appeared as if sage Vashishta himself was singing those powerful prayers to the ruler of all beings. The Brahmins felt ashamed and hung their faces. It was like holding a candle against the sun's radiant rays. The Brahmins had come with an impression that Saint Gajanan was a crazy someone, but found him to be a learned giant and were certain that four Vedas were in his person. They thought of Saint Gajanan as God incarnate. He must be Brahmin without attachment. Because of good deeds of previous birth, they were fortunate to have his darshan on earth. The saint told Khandu to give them a rupee each. They departed happily with this deed. Maharaj, like a true saint, disliked too much of attachment to life and people of the town and decided to shift out on his own. He moved to a garden to the north of Shegao under the cool dark shade of a neem tree. There was a temple of Lord Shiva's in the garden. Krishnaji, the youngest brother, owned this one. The saint said to Krishnaji that he was there to stay in the vicinity of Lord Shiv Shankar. If this is the place he likes, it is also the place for me. Please get a tiny shed built here for me. Very soon it became a place of pilgrimage, town where King stays becomes a capital of the state. Bhaskaran from Kokati stayed with the saint to offer him routine care and comfort to a great extent. Krishnaji supervised the food preparation and took meals with Maharaj had done. About 20 ascetics once came to the garden. They had heard about Saint Sri Gajanan. They told Krishnaji they were on a pilgrimage to Rameshwar with holy waters of the Ganges. We are disciples of Sri Brahmagiri, who is fortunately with us on this journey. We traveled upward to holy places like Gangotri, Kedar, Hinglaj, Girnar, Dakur, and Jamnotri. God works as a slave in Brahmagiri's house. Good deeds of your past have brought him here. All we want is a Shirapuri meal and a few puffs of heroin. We will be here for 3 days and then go on our routine. Do not miss the chance of serving our class. Instead of that crazy man lying across, it is like kicking a cow and feeding the jackass. We are ascetics who have renounced the world. We are masters of Veda. Come listen to our words. We will make Shiratpuri tomorrow, said Krishnaji. Let it just be Bhakri and Besan today as a proxy. There's no problem with ganja puffs as I see. It was noon time. The lunch was over by the well. They sat in the shade with people as evening fell. facing Mahant Brahmagiri and Shrigav Singh. Brahmagiri read the Gita and conveyed the gist of a hymn, saying the soul is eternal and no device can split it. Brahmagiri was a fraud with no spiritual attainments. The people were not impressed by his sermons. They could see that he was playing with the words. People got up and went to the darshan of their saint. We heard the philosophy, it was phony. We see the reality in you, they said. The ascetics who were now smoking ganja were irritated by this remark to a great extent. A spark from the pipe of the saint on his cot and slowly spread. Smoke started coming out of the bed. In a little while, the whole cot was in flames. Bhaskar requested the saint to leave the cot. He cautioned that it was of teak wood make and would require water for putting out the blaze. Said the saint, don't get water to quench the fire. Let Brahmagiri come and sit with me here. Brahmagiri, you know Gita and its meaning. Now it is the time for you to prove its essence. Prove that fire won't burn Brahma. You have given a discourse for the last hour. You shouldn't be scared of sitting with me here. Bhaskar, go and bring him here with due respect and make him sit here to prove the aspect. Bhaskar was a well-built man. With these orders, he caught hold of Brahmagiri to bring him there. The saint did not shift a bit from the fire. In Bhagavad, Prahlad, son of Karadu, was made to stand on burning fire. The saint reenacted the same scene in Krishna Patil's garden here. When Bhaskar caught hold of Brahmagiri, he prayed to Bhaskar, don't take me to the burning pot. I failed to recognize the authority of the master. Bhaskar dragged Brahmagiri to Maharaj, who said, prove the statement which says fire doesn't burn it. Brahmagiri got scared and replied, I became an ascetic for good food and an easy life. I fruitlessly tried to learn Gita words and called you crazy without any remorse. I regret the misdemeanor and beg to be excused. People from Shega begged of the saint to leave the burning cot for their sake. They were frantically afraid of seeing him engulfed in the flames. Brahmagiri hung his face in shame. He had nothing to express. To honor people's sentiments, the saint alighted from that burning bed. The cot didn't collapse in a moment, put people through water to put out the blaze, and saved just a part of it as an evidence of the event. Brahmagiri fell prostrate before Maharaj and purified himself from all his faults. With waters of Ganges touching impurity, how can things remain dirty? At midnight, the saint advised Brahmagiri, shun hypocrisy. A saint has to forego worldly pleasures. One should be learned himself before preaching to others. Learning words without understanding them or preaching the spirit behind them is worthless. Understand the spirit behind what you learn. Machindra, Jalandhar, Gorak, Kaini, Dhaneshwar all enjoyed great authorities in all spheres. Sri Shankaracharya attained self-realization. Eknath, a family man, achieved salvation. Swami Samartha Brahmachari accomplished the goal. Remember these sages and stop pondering for Shirapuri. It would be worthless waste of time for everybody. Brahmagiri quietly listened to his advice and left the place early morning with disciples. Next day, people gathered to see the burnt corn. We hope this treatise will liberate and the leaders from material attachments.